All right, let's do a mic check. So, mic check. Okay, seems like the mic check sounds okay. Alrighty. Hey, Architecty. Welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Just get the... I need to pop out the chats into the right place, and then I'll be good to go. Alrighty. Lurk and work, Architecty. Okay, no problem. Have a good... I hope you get everything that you need done. And have a good lurk, otherwise. All right. I wasn't planning on working on this painting tonight. I was planning on having it done, but my weekend, you know, just had what's the word I'm looking for? Just everything went, or nothing went as planned. Everything, all my plans got turned around on me. So, oh well. So I'll try and finish this. Uh, yeah. Ooh, not that it's a bad painting to work on. It's just very close to finished. Yeah, just all my plans this weekend got all um the word I'm looking for. I'm trying to think of the like appropriate term, but just everything got mixed up. And then we were a little even late coming in from what was going on because we we waited with a friend. We didn't want them to be alone, left alone while they were waiting for people to show up. And then we got stuck behind a drunk driver on the way home. Luckily, no one was hurt, but we actually called the police to let them to notify them because yeah, this person was driving like a crazy person. Well, like a drunk person, really. So that delayed everything too. Yeah. I'm just grabbing my brushes real quick. All right. All righty. All right, there we go. Palettes out. Just gotta clean my brushes real quick. So I've been leaving my brushes in mineral oil, often referred to as baby oil, um, when I'm not painting. So then when I go to paint, I actually have to clean them in solvent so that I don't get any mineral oil into my painting. I generally don't use solvent, but I do use it to clean just a little bit. There are ways around that, but I have literally like a gallon bottle of solvent. So I have a lot of solvent and might as well use it. Um, the fumes, because it's Gamsol, that's the solvent I use. Gamsol is, as far as I know, one of the safest solvents out there. It's not the strongest, so if you're using Damar varnish, it's not strong enough for that. But for what I do, it's perfect, and that means that a quick rinse probably will not produce enough fumes given the size of my room and my AC and everything to be an issue, because I keep it airtight, locked airtight when I'm not using it. So it's only out for a little bit. Hey Des, that's how you popped into chat. How you doing? Oh, how's it going? All right. Yeah, I'm going to be working on this again. I wish I didn't have to. I wish I'd had time to finish it, but I did not. You had your bathroom ripped apart today. You know, your digestive issues are your own. You really don't need to share that online. How'd it go? How's your bathroom now? Just oiling out again. Some spots are slightly wet, and I might get some mess from it, but they're not wet enough that I care. Hopefully the bathroom remodel stuff went well. I just realized I didn't take a new photo and put it in place. Oh well. I have to use the old photo for a lot of it. All right. I think I'm finally ready to start. All right, I'm going to start with a little bit of background cleanup stuff because that feels very safe. And I haven't drawn or painted at all today. Yeah, today was, I mean, this whole weekend. Oh, hold on. This says we can't do a dump run until Tuesday because it's a holiday here tomorrow. You have to hold it in until Tuesday? That's going to be rough. Um, Surely there's some place open that you can use the restroom. Um, and I share a driveway with my neighbor. I hope he doesn't freak out that the trailer is in the driveway. Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, I was saying, so I had a crazy weekend, just like a friend came from out of town all of a sudden. Um, Someone I haven't seen in a long time, so I was really happy to see her, but just all of a sudden kind of had to change all my plans. Not a bad thing, just, crazy. And then our friend's her daughter was having her first birthday, a 1 year old. So went out to that. Then on the way home, why the stream is so late, part of the reason the stream is so late, we were stuck behind a drunk driver. Um, and luckily, we're fine. No one got hurt. But we ended up calling the police and stuff because they were driving so erratic, and being, basically being a danger to themselves and people around them, like almost swerving off the road and also uh, almost swerving into oncoming traffic, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's infuriating. Yeah. Um, yeah, yes, it is. I have chronic uh, back and neck problems because a drunk driver ran into me years ago. So, yeah, it's infuriating. Um, uh, you know. Yeah, back it was like 5 years ago. No, wait, 10 years ago. I don't know, maybe nine. But yeah, someone ran into me and they were so drunk they couldn't even get out of the car on their own. They didn't know which way the sidewalk was. They just started walking into traffic. Like they were just gone. And they're fine. I'm suffering for it, but they're fine. You know. It's infuriating. They're really strict about it here. They take licenses away for at least a year in jail time, etc. Yeah, you know, I don't think they're as strict about it here. That maybe they're supposed to be, but it does not feel like they are. So yeah, just a little, like I said, everything kind of took, took longer than I expected, than planned, and so stream started way later than I was planning on today. But not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes just stream starts a little late. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't even know really what happens here if people when they drunk drive. Also, I'm assuming there's a difference between like what's on the books and what actually always happens or usually happens. Those two things are not always the same. I Oh, this is interesting. This in a roundabout way reminded me of that. I recently talked to a guy who deals with copyright and stuff like that. Um, and he was talking about like copyright law, stuff like that. And he was saying that even though you, as someone who like if you're a painter, an artist, or whatever in America, if you make something, if you paint something, this isn't legal advice, by the way. I'm not, for sure on any of this. I'm just retelling what was kind of told to me. But basically, if you create something, you own the copyright to it. Most people know that, right? Um, but he was basically saying that even if you own the copyright to something, um, the copyright lets you, of course, um, sell it, sell the license to it, sell it and profit off of it in all kinds of ways. But if you don't register it for copyright, um, he was saying essentially that there's almost no chance that you will be able to sue someone for a copyright violation. Now, not that clear cut. There are exceptions. There are, certain things to it, but for the most part, you're really not going to be able to. Which, um, you know, was weird to hear. He's basically saying, like, for what's it called? For, realistically speaking, you probably will not be able to sue. Which brings up some interesting things. Like, you could essentially steal, you know, photos from people online who are never going to copyright their photos. And they have to copyright them before, or I think up to 90 days from the time that you do the copyright violation. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that this means have at it, carte blanche, go ahead and steal from people. That is not what I'm saying at all. Uh, but it brings up some interesting subjects, like that means that artists are far less protected, unfortunately. Um, yeah, it kind of sucks. Like I said, I'm sure there are exceptions. I'm sure that this isn't a perfect, like, never, but most of the time, realistically speaking, kind of thing. That, I don't think is a great system. I do think that our copyright laws need some revising and some updating and so on, but unfortunately, uh, they just kind of pile on top of, and it just gets, you know, you just get all these weird old things come into play and doesn't get updated in time, all kinds of stuff. This says they're sure quick to copyright strike for music and video, but artists don't have much protection. They don't. But uh, music is probably registered copyright, but video. Um, the reality is it depends on the type of video, right? Some like how can I put this? So for instance, if you do something that is considered a copyright violation, well, actually, let me try and phrase this properly. If you post something depending on the website, depending on how they handle takedowns, right? You could initiate a takedown, and then the website takes down the content. But then on a lot of websites, you can challenge the takedown. And if you challenge the takedown, the website goes, oh, shoot, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do here. You have to deal with this in the courts. And then puts the thing back up and just tells you, go deal with it in the courts. And this really screws over smaller creators because they're not going to be taking it to court. So there's a lot of companies that take advantage of this. They sell unlicensed merchandise and stuff like that from people who don't have the finances to pursue legal action. And yeah, artists really, the thing is, I would say artists don't have a lot of protection, but that's not entirely true. Big name artists do. They you get a lot of you get I don't know if a lot, but you do get more protections. If you're not a big artist, and most artists aren't huge, no, you don't. You get almost nothing as far as like any kind of protection for your copyright for your work, for your name. Like it's very frustrating. And for instance, years ago, I had one of my drawings taken by a website, and they made them into what's it called? I think it was refrigerator magnets. They looked like crap because they were low res and everything. And that's the exact scenario where like sure, I can, file a copyright claim, but all they have to do is dispute it, and it's back online. And unless I take them to court, the website will not do anything. And that's assuming that they're not using one of the websites that's designed to steal. So there's these websites, and what they do is they have a shop. I'm trying to remember the name. I don't want to say the name because I don't remember the names, and I don't want to, say something I'm not sure of. But there's a website where they like it's not Etsy, but let's say Etsy for the purpose of the conversation, right? So Etsy, if you go to Etsy, you can search for all this stuff that people sell on Etsy. Well, this website is like Etsy, but when you go to it, you can't sell anything. You can you can sign up and create a store and everything. But um, in order to see the what's it called, the shop, there is no main shop. There's only campaigns. So you could sell something, and it's one link to that particular thing. And so what happens is if if someone's stealing something, they have one link. If they get a takedown, they can just change the link, and then you can't find it anymore. And so you can't serve another takedown. You can't check if they're still selling your stuff because they changed the link, unless you get access to the new link. But it's designed that way so that they can steal, basically. Like that's why they do it that way. It's very frustrating. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't get too hung up on that stuff as an artist because there's just an endless amount of it. So you can do what you can. There's actually a website, I can't remember what it's called at the moment. I know not very helpful, but there is a website that will automatically search for your images and try and help you get like takedowns on things that are using your images. But ultimately, you can't stress that stuff too much. You'll never be able to get all of it. So at some point, you got to just not stress out about it. Yeah, the advice I've gotten from many artists is basically don't stress out about that stuff too much. You know, do what you can easily and then just make more and more and more stuff. But yeah, I mean, the whole AI thing, the artists, visual artists, painters and concept artists and everything, they were absolutely on the forefront of fighting against that. Everybody else was like dragging their feet, not seeing it, the problem, mostly seeing like, how can you, improve, blah, blah, how can you use this? And then it slowly kind of migrated to everybody. And now everyone's suing for about AI. Oh well. Getting weird texture I didn't want. By the way, I am using my new rosemary brush, and so far, I really like it. Um, it's not a perfect brush, but no brush is. But it is a very good brush. Uh, very, very sharp edges, which, when you want sharp edges, it's perfect. When you don't, obviously not so perfect. Um, but yeah, this is the ivory long flat. And I do like the long flat quite a bit. Um, and yeah, it's got a good spring to it. It's not the softest brush in the world, so it's not as good for like, soft edges necessarily. Um, you know, um, or feathery work, which is fine. It is what it is. There are definitely brushes with like a more, with a, what's it called? Bristles that are thinner and more, softer and just feathery, I guess. But um, I haven't used any of those ones yet. Um, so I can't compare. I'm sure, but if this one's anything to judge on, those ones are going to be amazing because this is a really good brush. This is I haven't painted in so long, but I might have a commission soon. My dog's groomer wants a painting of all her pets. That's great. I mean, I don't think you should wait till you get the commission to start getting back to painting, but I mean, I understand, sometimes life happens and you have to take a break. I've been having to put time aside for something that's not painting, so I get that. Yeah, like I said, this one's right now going to be most of this stuff, I think, is probably just going to be detail work, unfortunately. Not everything. And there's definitely some work that needs to be done on the face, but yeah, a lot of this is just going to be a lot of like nitpicking, I guess. That is too light. There we go. That's too light. Yeah, too light. Uh, I was just checking the time. I'm waiting to hear from a friend, make sure everything's okay. Nope. That is way too bright. I don't want all the edges to be sharp, but I definitely want to clean up some of them. I just saw a post I need to see. Need to double check. It looks like maybe they're linking. I don't know. I just saw it pop on my phone, so I can't look at it right now. But an artist I like, I think they were asking if artists should embrace AI or not. And I'm hoping it's a link to an article that basically says no, but I can't look at it right now. To me, it's such a dumb concept because there's nothing really to embrace, but that's just my opinion. What can I say? All right, let's take a quick stretch break. Uh, Mhm. I gotta oh. I really wish I could have a live-in, how people have live-in chefs, stuff like that. I mean, that sounds fantastic, but I almost want to live in chiropractor. Uh, like a live-in chiropractor would be awesome. Hey, Donley, good to see you. How you doing? Oh. Donley says, didn't realize you were coming in so late. I'm all right, thanks. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I wasn't planning on coming in so late, but my weekend got turned upside down. A friend from out of town who I haven't seen in a long time was driving through, so I had like a very short window to see her. Um, and that messed up everything. Also, they were planning on arriving in the evening and then they arrived at like midnight, and so the next day plans also got messed up. Um, and then uh, a friend, her daughter was having her first birthday, turning 1 years old, so we had to go to that. And then um, we're supposed to leave, but someone was left there waiting, basically by themselves for more people to show up to like break down. And so we didn't want to leave a friend out, to just, you know, by themselves. So we stayed. And then on the way home, we got uh, stuck behind a drunk driver. Um, and that slowed us down a lot. And luckily, we didn't see anybody get hurt, but we called the police and had to like spend time on the phone reporting them because they were a danger to them, to themselves and others. So, yeah, just a lot, just a lot going on. Oh, wow, you've had a heck of a weekend. Yeah, that wasn't even all of it. So yeah, but yeah, that's why I can't. My stream started later than planned. Basically. That was a long-winded way of saying that. How are you doing, man? Sorry I missed. I know I missed. What's it called? Movie night. I hope you guys had a good time. How did you enjoy the movie? Called off movie night. Everyone was a no show. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sometimes it be like that. Yeah. Yeah. Um, what's it called? I have already seen that movie that you were planning on seeing, and I have a bunch of stuff to prepare for the class I'm doing. It's the last week, so you know, wasn't up for it. Are you one of those people who likes watching movies more than once? Uh, this goes out to everybody. Who here, how do you all feel about that? Um, I know some people like will watch the same movie, you know, over and over and over again, and some people hate that. So I know it kind of varies depending on the person. Depends, Des says depends on the movie. Sure, I get that. That's also a huge consideration for it. When I was in the military, um, we had a TV and a VHS player in our um, unit work area, I guess, in our office. Yeah, our office, I guess, would be the most appropriate term, in our office. But it wasn't that long ago. VCRs weren't that popular. So like, who has VCRs at that point? No one has VCRs. So um, so because like no one had VCRs, we didn't have any tapes there. Also, it's the military, you don't want to bring anything. If you do happen to have something you love, no one wants to bring anything that, is worth anything to them because you never know what will happen to it, right? Um, so, and also we weren't supposed to watch TV while we were working. It was kind of like after hours type of thing. We would, utilize it when we could. So not often, basically, is the gist of it. Uh, Long way of saying that. But all to say that we ended up having exactly one VHS there, which was The Matrix, the original one. Um, so I have rewatched that movie a lot. It got to the point where I would just rewind it and fast forward through it to the fight scenes and maybe one or two other spots and just do that repeatedly. Like I wouldn't watch the whole thing. I'd just fast forward back and forth between them all. To the point where I've memorized a lot of the choreography and stuff. Conley says I used to watch movies a couple times if I liked it. I'd watch it once in the theaters and then again when it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, etc. I like rewatched watching the OG Matrix. Yeah, yeah. And then at one point when I moved in with a roommate years later, and he had uh, a lot of the oh my God, the View Askew movies, the Jay and Silent Bob movies, the Kevin Smith movies, and he would just watch a lot of them and stuff like what is it? What is that? Office Space, stuff like that. He liked those a lot, and he had a bunch of those, so he would watch a lot of those. So I would watch a lot of those. Conley says, I think that'd be a good movie to choose in the famous If You Were stranded on a desert island and could only bring one movie scenario, the OG Matrix. Hmm, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad one. I'll put it that way. It's definitely not a bad one. I feel like there might be some movies that are, better overall. Because like after a while, you start boiling the movie down to like 15 minutes. But yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely a lot worse options out there. Oh, jeez, this brush was so dirty. I don't know if any of you know this, if you're fans the of Office Space, but the main actor from Office Space is now in a TV show. I don't know if it's still running, but I'm behind on things, so it's new to me. But yeah, it's called Louder Milk. Um, Very different vibe, well, a bit of a different vibe from Office Space. Watching the Louder Milk trailer at the moment. Yeah, I liked it. We're in season 2, I think, right now. I like it. Pretty good. It's definitely a different vibe than um what's it called? Office Space, but there's a bit of the like ridiculous comedy to it with a dark, undertone. So it does deal with like some heavy stuff, but I never felt so far, even when it gets like when it's dealing with heavy stuff, it didn't feel very heavy to me to watch it. So I don't know. But it was also just nice to see the actor again. It'd been a long time since I'd seen him in anything, basically since Office Space. Donnelly says looks like Loudermilk wrapped in December 2020, but I'd never heard of it before, so new to me. That's how I felt. I was like, I suspect that this is, you know, done, but this is definitely new to me. How's the sleep in the sea stars going? Well, I'm not sure. So I think I finished it, but it has like an final part to it that's like, from what I can tell, it's not uh, like it's like an addition to it, and I'm trying to listen through that, but it's not very interesting because it's like I don't even remember what it is at this point. It's like science theory that, I'm just like, okay, but like, is the story done? What's happening here? So if I need to keep listening to that, I will, but I'm not sure. Otherwise, I thought it was all right. It was pretty good. Um, there was a lot of things I liked about it. Some things were a little less, but overall I liked it. You don't need to listen to that part. Okay. But yeah, overall I'd say I like the book. Probably more useful if you were reading the book. Okay, that makes sense. You could sneak a look into those definitions if you wanted to know what something was. Ah, I see. Okay, no, I'm good. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Alrighty. Um, is this a variation on Harley Quinzel? Uh, I don't know. I would say it's probably a Harley Quinn um, type of thing. This is the reference is from a cosplayer, and I don't think she was specifically cosplaying Harley Quinn. Um, yeah. So, but definitely inspired by, without a doubt. Yeah, I can't say for sure. I can find the post. I linked it the first time I did it. Um, yeah, but I don't remember. I'll be honest, I think it was mostly just cosplayers doing Halloween themed stuff and trying to be hot. I, you know, which, I don't have an issue with, to be clear. In case anyone for some reason thought I would, I do not. Only says, gotcha. Well, now it's your character, so maybe you can come up with a backstory if you want. Well, uh, I guess. I don't know. I honestly wasn't even thinking, like, I thought I'd be done with this painting already. This has taken way longer than anticipated because of, just life kind of stuff. Um, yeah. And halfway through the painting on Halloween, someone was like, we got to talking, and I was just like, the movie Labyrinth came up, and I was just like, oh, I should have done a Labyrinth painting instead of, this, because I was just like, I love Labyrinth. And I was just like, oh man. And don't get me wrong, I like this. I like the the reference image. That's why I picked it. But it was funny that halfway through it, I was just like, oh shoot, I could have done that. Next painting, Labyrinth. Probably not. However, it is now firmly on my list. Uh, I have too many I have too many paintings that are not finished for me to start a Labyrinth painting, but it is definitely on the list now. Yeah, but I do have too many paintings to start a new one. I need to finish a bunch. But yeah, I will happily do a Labyrinth painting. Honestly, the question is, can I find good reference, and how many Labyrinth paintings do I want to do if I can find good reference images? So obviously a Bowie painting, right? And then one of Jennifer Connolly. Connolly? Am I getting that wrong? Anyways, but then do I do one of the, you know, do I do one of the rock monster? What's his name? Can't remember his name, but the one who calls the rocks. And what about the you know, the little guy? I can't remember anyone's names, of course, because my memory for names is horrendous, but yeah. Now I'm trying to remember what the name of that character is that calls the rocks to himself. If I remember correctly, he does it by using his own name. Very much a Groot type of character. I've only watched Labyrinth once and I didn't pay that much attention to names. I remember Bowie is the Goblin King and that's it about it. Yeah, that it's a good movie. Or at least I remember it being a good movie. I watched it a bunch of times, so it's kind of like the Princess Bride to me. I think of those two movies very similarly. Obviously, the themes are a bit different, but those, by the way, those two movies, as far as I'm concerned, ton of rewatchability, both of those. Let's see, Dunley says, I didn't see it when I was a kid, so I don't hold the same place for me as maybe something like The Never-Ending Story. I see that. For some reason, The Never-Ending Story, I liked it, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't, and I don't know, it didn't hit the same way for me for whatever reason. I don't know if I saw it when I was too young or too old. I can't, I literally cannot remember when I saw it. It's good. I like it. But yeah, for some reason, it's not like up there for me. I did see someone posted a Halloween costume of their kid, um, dressed as what is his name? Atreyu? Is that the kid in the storybook of Neverending Story? Is that the kid's name? Um, the one in the book, not the reader. Um, and he's carrying, and the kid's dragging a leash, and at the end of the leash is a head horse, a horse's head. I mean, stuck to like a mud, like a circle of mud that's on like wheels, so it just follows him around, but just the head is sticking out. Don Lee's saying, "Oh, I was just trying to think of example. To be honest, Neverending Story isn't the greatest, LOL, but it somehow feels like it might hold a similar spot in kids' heads. Oh, I'm sure it does. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a cool movie, but I haven't watched it that much. Yeah, I get that. Same. Maybe Dark Crystal would be a better example or comparison. Ooh, so I get that. However, not for me personally, but I do understand what you're saying. I don't think I ever saw Dark Crystal from start to finish. Um, yeah. And I don't know that I ever saw it as a kid at all. Like I think the first time I saw it, I was in my 20s when I first saw like part of it. Like I, for whatever reason, just missed that movie's existence. Oh well, Crystal was a little scary when I was a kid. I bet. It's not when you're 20, I'll tell you that much. So, kind of loses its edge, you know. Just a bit. Only says a little scary when I was a kid, but cool at the same time. Yeah. Once again, I think it kind of loses quite a bit of its edge, you know. not only was I like in my 20s or whatever, but also like, you know, I'm talking this is after like Marvel movies are coming out, you know? It's like the effects and everything, yeah. Donnelly says, yeah, well, I think how you feel about Dark Crystal is what I think about Labyrinth. I could see that. Although, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for the teeth, I'm really going to have to get in there. I'm not painting every individual teeth. Every individual tooth, I'm going to have to go in there and like really get the gums, like the shape and indicate everything. But I probably will do that off stream because otherwise I will be this close to it and you can't really see much when I'm doing that. What about The Princess Bride, Donnelly? How do you feel about that movie? The Princess Bride, I didn't see that till I was much older, but I love the movie. There, that's good. The Princess Bride is one of those movies that honestly, I feel like you could see it at any age and love it. Des says, "Oh, I'm off to bed. Thanks for the stream." Hey, no worry, Des. Have a good night, and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Uh, I hope you have good news about the commission soon. Conley says, "Good night, Des." Conley says that's one I'd have in the running for only moving on a desert island shortlist. The Princess Bride, yeah, for sure. I agree. I'm AFK back in a bit. No worries, Dunley. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that. That was the wrong color. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. So I didn't realize that the reference was getting messed up here. That explains it. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. I see. All right. All right. Okay. This got a little messed up because I didn't understand the reference properly because of the some of the color issues that were happening. All right. I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. My eyes are just literally going blurry. I need a break. It's been a long, crazy day. Um, on less than ideal amount of sleep. Um, yeah. I'm not going to say that I didn't get anything done today on this. I didn't get nearly as much as I would have liked, but yeah. Donnelly says, "Oh, good timing then, I guess." Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's getting late here, and yeah, just it's just one of those days. It's been very eventful, and yeah. So, thank you everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm sorry my streams have not been very regular lately. Just been a couple weeks where, just things, schedules just get messed up all the time. Anyways, yeah. So, thank you all, and I will catch you later. I will be back on Thursday. Donnelly says get some good rest, man. Catch you later. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Have a good rest of your weekend. If you have a long weekend, enjoy, and I will be back on Thursday. All right. Bye, everybody. And just taking a photo real quick. There we go. All right. Bye, everybody.